Selamat datang di kabarinews.com. Saya John Uy dari San Francisco. Dan hari ini kami ada Tirta Halim. Apa kabar, Tirta?
Baik, Pak.
Boleh perkenalkan diri?
Ya, nama saya Tirta Halim. I'm a custom broker in Los Angeles. I've been a licensed custom broker since 2002, but I've been in the business since 1989. So, yeah, basically, I'm a broker. I help importer clear their goods through U.S. Custom, assess the duty, classify their good, and if importer needs their logistic, for example, delivery or storage, pick and pack, we also we can offer that kind of service too.
Oke, untuk orang Indonesia yang tidak tahu apa itu custom broker, mungkin Pak Tirta bisa explain.
Custom broker is like a middleman between importer and U.S. Customs. A lot of importer, they do not know about the regulations. Different product have different regulation. Some product requires other government agency, for example, Food and Drug, USDA, EPA, Fish and Wildlife. So, and then the regulation keep on changing. There's like new regulation. So it is good to hire a professional because we keep up with the regulations.
Yang sekarang ya, situasi dengan shipping COVID-19, bagaimana impact-nya sekarang?
To be honest with you, my business itself, we were not impacted that much because it's essential. Imports still coming in, regardless mostly from China. Right? But a lot of companies, they already outsourced to different countries, Southeast Asia, for example, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam. So right now, my business itself, it's not that impacted. And we are also blessed, I would say like blessing in disguise from Section 301. Section 301 is the additional tariff that imposed by Trump administration. Goods from China, there's an additional about 10, 15, and 25%. So importer pay the 25%, 10%, 15%, and then they file for an exclusion that importer, exporter, shipper, manufacturer can also file. When their goods are excluded, they can file for a refund from the additional duty that they already paid. So we're busy filing the 301 exclusion refund right now, plus also the regular import that we handle.
Oke, seandainya ada orang Indonesia yang ingin import makanan dari Indonesia, boleh kasih syaratnya apa dan perlunya apa gitu?
Yeah, makanan ya. Food product is regulated by Food and Drugs. So the manufacturer has to have what is called facility registration. And the importer, if they handle the fruit or they store the food, they also have to have facility registration. And it's just about 3 years ago, FDA have a new regulation. It's called FSVP. It's Foreign Supplier Verification Program. So basically, every manufacturer has to register with this program if they would like to export to the United States. As far as U.S. Custom, there's no problem because Custom does not, enforce the regulation on FDA. So the FDA itself, that is a challenge for food manufacturer or food importer.
Kalau seandainya mau import ikan, itu bagaimana, apa itu persiapannya?
Ikan, say fresh fish, Tuna, for example.
Let's say ikan tenggiri seandainya.
Yeah.
Gurame.
Gurame. This is fresh frozen, right? I mean,
Fresh frozen, yes.
Fresh frozen. Yes, same thing. The manufacturer has to have facility registration. Importer has to have facility registration. And then importers also have to have what we call HACCP. That's another FDA program. So it should be no problem. But all the FDA regulation has to be met. And if anybody interested, I can go into the detail because it's very
yeah. Okay.
Very detailed.
Untuk dapat facility registration, apakah through Department of Agriculture atau through FDA? Dan apakah mereka datang ke pabriknya?
No, they have offices overseas. Only when there's a violation, then FDA is probably going to visit the shipper or the manufacturer. So facility registration, importer or exporter, shipper, manufacturer, they can register online through FDA website, fda.gov, and then just search for facility registration.
Oke. Nah, dan seandainya orang Indonesia yang ingin ekspor, ya, barang, seandainya makanan, ya, tapi seandainya mereka tuh tidak ada mungkin importer, what's that, agent of record di sini, tapi dia tahu ada
importer of record.
Importer of record, oke. Tapi ada company, seandainya Costco yang mau beli ikan seandainya, fresh ikan ya. Itu bagaimana itu caranya? Atau memang harus, atau US Customs Broker bisa jadi agent, what's that, of record?
We have a policy that we do not want to be the importer of record because there's responsibilities. If the goods is in violations, everybody's, customs is going to go after the importer of record, FDA, customs, and bond company as well. If there's a penalty, for example, and liquidated damages. So importer of record has a lot of responsibilities. That's why we have a policy that we do not want to be the importer of record.
Jadi importer record itu harus a resident of the United States? Right?
Not really. Foreign residents, it's what it's called is non-resident importer, can be the importer of record. We can help the foreign entity to apply custom assigned number if they are not the resident of United States. And they can use the custom assigned number as an EIN, like tax ID number. Then we can apply for a custom bond and set up them as the importer of record.
Oke, dan itu tidak ada sesuatu syarat yang selain isi that form, right?
There's nothing. Basically, we need to get the corporation, like over here, what it's called the article of corporation. Every country probably have that. So we need to get a proof of that and then sign power of attorney. Power of attorney has to be signed by the officer of the company. We need a copy of passport with a picture or ID and business card.
Okay, so you are saying that it could be in lieu of record of importer ya, jadi bisa pakai corporation gitu,
Yes.
US corporation gitu.
Yeah, individual corporation, you can also be an importer as an individual.
Ya, tapi harus ada corporation.
Not really.
Not really. So everything can be done from Indonesia, put it that way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Terus,
hang on. I'm sorry. Yes, it has to be a corporation if it's non-residents. But if you're a resident, you can be an individual.
I see. Okay. Yeah. So if it's a non-resident, warga negara Indonesia yang tidak ada green card di Amerika, nah itu harus pakai corporation.
Correct.
In the United States.
Correct.
Jadi tentunya ada agent, okay, dan itu agent, the corporation would be, in a way, would be responsible.
Yes. So if you are a non-resident importer, U.S. Custom required an ultimate consignee, U.S. entity or individual who's going to receive the goods. So they have a contact if they have any issue or questions. They have to have a contact here in the United States. So if you're a non-resident importer, you have to have an ultimate consignee. Ultimate consignee, we don't need the power of attorney. We just need their EIN number or social security number.
But that person is responsible for any product, even though it's a corporation, but the person, the agent itself from the corporation.
See, what's funny is this. They're not responsible because they're ultimate consignee. They're not the importer. So the importer record, if you're non-resident, you still have to get a custom bond, right? So if you default, if the company default on any duty or liquidated damages, then custom is going to ask the bond company for the duty owed. And in turn, the bond company is going to go after the principal of the importer of record. So it's kind of tricky. A lot of people set it up. They want to try to do something illegal, basically. I've seen that happen because they're overseas. Who's going to go after them? Yeah. So the bonding company is getting a little bit smarter. If you're non-residents, they're probably going to require a collateral in form of LC. Say minimum bond amount is $50,000 minimum, and they will ask $50,000 collateral in form of LC before they approve the bond.
Dan evaluation itu berdasarkan harga dari produk sendiri yang diimpor, bukan?
The bond, the calculation for bond amount is 10% of the duty. Say if you bring in $1 million worth of goods and the duty is 100,000, for example, 10%. The duty is 10%. So the bond amount is 10% of 100,000.
Jadi 10.000.
10.000, but the minimum bond amount is 50,000.
Okay.
Jadi you have to get $50,000 bond.
Dan untuk Indonesia kebanyakan kan I think is exempt from duty, correct?
Yes, Indonesia is one of the GSP countries.
Okay.
So Indonesia, most of the good, not all of them, I would say maybe 90%. Indonesian goods are eligible for GSP.
Sekarang kita bicara tentang pakaian.
Okay.
Kalau seandainya ada orang Indonesia yang ingin ekspor pakaian ke Amerika, what requirement yang diperlukan?
For basic importation, U.S. Custom required commercial invoice in English, packing list in English, a copy of bill of lading if it's by ocean, a copy of airway bill if it's by air, and arrival notice, for us to file an entry. So the requirement, the documentation is the same for a garment because garment is not a quota anymore. So, and another thing is this, certificate of origin. So the good is originating from Indonesia or other countries. So basically, it's pretty much the same. Pakaian is a lot easier to bring in than food. FDA is pretty tough. Yeah, food importers, customs, they don't have an issue with customs. Their issue is with FDA because FDA have to really enforce their regulations, basically. They want to.
Jadi kalau soal makanan, FDA kan. Tapi kalau soal pakaian, apakah itu FDA? Tidak kan?
Bukan? No. So that's why pakaian is a lot easier than food.
Okay, all right, makes sense.
Yeah.
Terus kita bicara furnitures.
Okay.
What is involved with furnitures?
Furniture, same thing. Documentation, the commercial invoice, packing list, and all that. Plus, a few years ago, it's called Lacey Act. Lacey Act basically it's to protect illegal lumber. A lot of, what do you call it? The
Logging.
Logging, exactly. There's some logging that are protected. I mean, some wood that are protected. So USDA wants to know where the wood is coming from. What is the measurement? It's by centimeter or meter, so yes, importer has to fill out an additional documentation for furniture, which is Lacey Act.
Oke. Terus soal coffee, itu bagaimana tuh syaratnya?
Coffee is the same as other food products. It's not. You can import coffee to United States from Indonesia. There should be no problem, but the FDA requirement has to be met on coffee too.
Untuk Pak Tirta ya, tantangan besarnya apa untuk import barang dari Indonesia?
What I see is this: they cannot compete with China. I mean, Indonesia cannot compete with China because the sailing, first the ocean freight is more, and then the sailing, the transit time from China is on most. I mean, the most is 14 days. There's some like faster vessel, 12 days or 10 days. And from Indonesia, it takes 28 days. So that is the challenges, I think, that face the importer because of that.
Kalau saya boleh tanya, customer dari Pak Tirta, kebanyakan dari mana dan apakah banyak orang Indonesia yang import barang ke Amerika?
My customers mostly Chinese importer. I would say maybe about 85%. And Indonesian customer, 1%. If there are not too many Indonesian importer that I know of, that I handle. Yeah. Mostly they bring in furniture and food products.
Oke, pesan terakhir dari Pak Tirta ke pemirsa Kabari, apa itu?
Opportunities for Indonesian to import because there's not a lot of Indonesian importer. So if any Indonesian that would like to do importing, they can contact me. I can consultation with them, give them some advice, and answer their questions. I think this is also the good time because the trade war between America and China, I see there are a lot of companies that's already outsourcing to different countries. Indonesia is also one of them. So yeah, use this opportunity to, this time, take it as an opportunity to import from Indonesia.
Baik, Pak Tirta, terima kasih untuk informasi dan untuk pemirsa Kabari, terima kasih untuk ikut kami. Sampai kita berjumpa lagi.
Terima kasih, Pak. Thank you.